So there you are, out on the trail, and you wish you had a smoothie, but you forgot your blender again. In this video, we're going to show you how to freeze dry a fruit smoothie. So you probably have your own fruit smoothie recipe that you already dialed in. That's great. Mix one of those up, pop it in your freeze dryer. Let me know how that works out. I'm going to show you my recipe. If you're adventurous, give it a try. I swear by it. It's delicious, very, very helpful, great energy. I like to start with a banana. Banana gives the smoothie, more body, more texture, plus whatever nutritional values in a banana, potassium and whatever trace elements. I don't know. It must be good. Monkeys look pretty healthy, right? Then my go-to protein is whey protein. I prefer unflavored whey protein with nothing else in it. I don't need any chemicals in mine. If you want chocolate or strawberry or peanut butter and all these different chemical additives, go for it. I prefer unflavored 100% whey protein. That's it. Now if you're like me, you probably don't eat enough vegetables. I really don't eat enough vegetables, so I like to supplement my smoothie with some dried greens. Now I'm not pitching this particular brand. There's a lot of really good vegetable powders on the market. I typically add 1 scoop, maybe 2. Beyond that, you want to kind of go easy with the vegetable powder, because you add too much, pretty soon your smoothie is going to have an overwhelming vegetable flavor to it. Maybe that's what you like. For me, I like it to be a fruit smoothie essentially. So you want all the other ingredients to kind of dilute the vegetable flavor. My go-to fruit for a smoothie are frozen blueberries. If you like to do strawberries or peaches or whatever, go for it. For me, it's blueberries. And now I put in about half a cup of blueberries. You don't want to overdo it with frozen blueberries, because when you start to blend it up, if you have too many blueberries, they turn into a jelly. So if you go overboard, you can have a smoothie that you have to chew rather than drink. Then I like to put in maybe a teaspoon of raw unprocessed honey, and I like to add a teaspoon of olive oil for the nutritional value. And the older I get, the more I need the pipes lubed, if you know what I mean. So whenever I can, I try to add a little olive oil to anything. You can't even taste that there's olive oil in the smoothie. Now typically, once I get all the initial ingredients put in the blender, it's about up to the halfway mark of the blender. You don't want to go too much more than that, because when you blend it, it's going to fill with air, fluff up, and you might overflow your blender. I like to top it off with milk. I usually do this by feel. I don't measure it. I go just barely to the top of the other ingredients that have already been put in here, and then I blend it up, ready to rock and roll. Now you're probably wondering, why aren't you putting ice in there? Well, maybe on a hot summer day, I want a cold smoothie, I might throw some ice cubes in there. We're going to freeze dry this, so what's the point of putting water into this if we're just going to freeze dry it out again? So I'm going to go ahead and mix this up. Then we're going to take it and we're going to put it in Steve's freeze dryer. We're going to freeze dry it, and then we shall take it out on the trail on a camping trip, and we'll sample the product, and we'll let you know what we think about it. All right, here we go. Let's get blending. All right, let's go ahead and mix this up, shall we? So I always start with my banana. Now I'm always mixing my smoothies up in the morning, so I kind of like to do it as a ritual. Otherwise, I'm going to end up missing something and won't even realize it till later. So I toss one banana in the blender. Then depending on what kind of protein powder or what I'm going to do in the day, determines how much protein I'm going to put into it. Also, depending on the size of the scoop of the protein. So this protein scoop's not a giant one. So
typically I'll add about one, maybe one and a half, something like that. A lot of this is just kind of an estimation, and you're gonna have to tweak your own smoothie recipe for your taste. The greens that I'm putting in here today are not really, they don't really have an overwhelming vegetable taste. So typically I'll throw in a, oops, didn't get a scoop. I'll throw in maybe a couple of scoops of that. Now I have some dried greens that have a really tiny scoop in them, and you realize later why they have a tiny scoop in them, because it's really potent tasting stuff. So I'm gonna put 2 scoops of greens in this one, and then I like to add my frozen blueberries. Now typically I don't measure my frozen blueberries, I just kind of go by feel. Today I'm gonna measure them out. We're using about a half cup, so I'm going to use a standard Hello Kitty cup. And okay, I'm being silly, but this is a cup. Filled it up about half full of frozen blueberries. If you go overboard with blueberries, I have to warn you, you might end up with more of a jelly than a smoothie, and it might be kind of hard to drink. And we're going to add a little bit of bees honey to that. You know, sometimes I do. Typically I do stuff that's already melted. Man, looks like we're gonna have to help that one out a little bit. Oh, there we go. I am licking my finger off. Yes, you are correct. By the way, this is not going into the, if I touch something with my hands, of course I'm gonna be hygienic about it. Now, this is totally optional olive oil, but I like to add a little bit of olive oil in there, just because I like to sneak a little olive oil into pretty much everything that I can, just for the health benefits. And then, last but not least, put in some milk. Now I do this by feel as well, because I don't always have the other ingredients exactly the same. I go just over the top of the ingredients like that, so that you don't have too much liquid. You still want it to be a smoothie and not, just like a flavored milk. All right, we're ready to rock and roll this baby up. Let's start the engines and go. That is music to the ears, isn't it? All right, and that is ready to go. That is ready to go into the freeze dryer. And I have no idea what it's going to taste like once we get it freeze dried, but we're going to find out.
All right, now the process to load up the trays. I'm using the full silicone mats again, just because it makes everything a lot easier.
So you don't even bother trying to fill those and carry them into the dryer?
Oh no. No, the shallow tray becomes a disaster waiting to happen when you're trying to transport that thing. Let's see. It's actually pretty close to being full there. Didn't even use that much.
Maybe we won't need 2 blenders.
Maybe not. The goats.
All right, let's light this baby up, see what comes out the other side.
Yeah, movie magic later, it'll all be done.
Okay, so Sunisa is gonna test our freeze-dried smoothie. Let's hold it up there, let's take a good look at it. So it looks exactly what I thought it would look like, just kind of a lumps of chalk or something. All right, give it a taste, Sunisa Bird, and let's see what you think. Hey,
Tastes good.
what's it taste like?
Tastes like banana.
Tastes like bananas? Nice. Nice.
Oh wow.
Not bad.
That's actually.
I'll take one out of there.
Nope.
Could you give me one hand, please?
Nope.
Ah, yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Not a bad, it's kind of a satisfying trail snack if you can keep it from getting crushed.
Mm-hmm.
But even if you do, so you just mix it up with some water and turn it into a smoothie. So there you go. Looks like a piece of like something you found on the ground, like dirt or mud or fake mud. But it doesn't taste like mud. It doesn't taste yummy. Yummy.
I can
Can
definitely.
I put on my whey protein?
What's that?
I need to put on my whey
You can put
protein.
some in your whey protein. Yeah. Mix it in there.
You can definitely taste the whey. You can definitely taste the whey protein that
For
you've
sure.
added. Oh, let me open that back up for you.
Thank you, our monkey.
That's
Yeah.
a big chunk.
That's what she said.
So, eating stuff like this that's been freeze dried, there's zero moisture in there. It starts sucking the moisture right out of your body. So if you eat stuff like this, be sure to rehydrate a lot. That's a little too close. It won't focus. It's actually really good.
Not bad at all. Huh? Denise is just eating it as a snack, not putting it in your smoothie.
I put some.
Put some in your smoothie.
Put on some now.
All right. Good enough. Good enough. I'd call this,
better than the piece I tasted earlier.
I think I'd call it a win. You might just be hungrier too.
That could be. Yeah, I could definitely see more blueberries.
Yeah.
I don't know how many blueberries you added. A cup?
No, what's
More-
that thing is
What's that?
stuck on my teeth.
Oh yeah.
For sure.
Really